The 0 hour event has just happened, and there is a lot of lore to talk about. So sit down and grab some popcorn, as I, Miko Rex, explains everything in 0 hour. 0 hour begins with Hope and Jones teleporting across realities, in an attempt to get back to reality 783 and save Oninoshima. After several failed jumps, we finally get back to the island, just in time to see it completely destroyed, and the dark presence standing tall. In a big roar, he pours out Onimorphs, but we have an army too. Jones activates his rift device, teleporting dozens and dozens of heroes and villains from across the Omniverse to help us defeat this demon master, which I theorize his real name is Asmodeus. And with that, Jones leads the charge into battle. With the entire Omniverse following his lead. Even with the strength of the Omniverse on our side, we were not winning this battle. The Dark Presence was too strong for us to defeat. We needed a wild card. Jones, combining his mind through decades of reality hopping, finally comes up with an idea. We need the cube. And yes, it is not the purple one. It is Nathaniel the Cube. He teleports Nathaniel the Cube from Reality Unknown, aka OG, and unleashes a wild attack on the Dark Presence. As it destabilizes, the Mecha Team Leader runs up and kicks it directly into the Dark Presence's chest, defeating him once and for all, and freeing the shard from his demonic grasp. But the real question is, who was piloting the Mecha Team Leader? Well, we have new voice lines that I will talk about later from The Order. Even though she wasn't known for piloting it, she still is a member of the Seven, and she could have learned from the paradigm. After this, a reality wave is sent out and Oninoshima is restored. But also the collabs were taken back to their home realities. Then we were sucked into the shard. Jones then recaps on the entire history of the Fortnite storyline, and then it ends on something important. The fate of the Seven is unknown. We'll see where that leads. But we do kind of know what happened to the Seven. We know they're being tortured by the last reality and being corrupted. But maybe they're retconning that, which I hope they don't, because that'd be such a cool storyline. But yeah. Now to the Chapter 7 lore stuff. In the Chapter 7 trailer, we just see people partying, like, on the island. My main question is, how the heck did we get from Oninoshima to wherever this Pacific Break Island is? Who knows? Well, I guess we'll have to find out soon. But then, all of a sudden, we see a cube cradle from the last reality. It's a lot smaller than the one we saw from the Chapter 2 end event, but it still looks very similar. Then it shoots down the battle bus, destroying it completely. Now to the Order voice lines I was talking about. Yes, she finally has voice lines after 3 whole years. I'm going to play them and then I'm going to explain them.
I was scanning the aftermath of the battle for Reality 783 when I picked up a distress signal sent by Agent Jones. It's been a while. He and I have a lot to catch up on. Whatever's going on, odds are the 0 point is involved. Initial scans show this place has an intense concentration of 0 point energies. I'll need more info to make a complete assessment. Mission log. Someone else is making a play for the shards. And I need to find out why. I could really use some help here. For the Seven, we aren't what we used to be. I miss my sister most of all. Okay, time to lock in on the mission. I'll scout the area and see what I'm up against. Mission log. This reality feels familiar in so many ways, yet something's not quite right. The loop seems stable, at least for now, but the storm has changed. Almost like someone's been tampering with it. Maybe it's because the 0 point's been fragmented. Who knows what kind of instability that might have introduced. I wish the scientist were here. That big brain of his would come in handy right about now. If only... Never mind. I've got work to do. Mission log. This tech company's headquarters should contain all the necessary components to execute my plan. Have to be careful, though. The place is crawling with thugs working for the Dark Voyager. Based on that ship of his, he's connected to the last reality. But something feels off. I think there's more going on than meets the eye. Stand by. I've got a lock on one of the pieces I need. Once I'm able to send the signal, then my old friend should... Wait, that looks like... a boarding mission. Jones, if you receive this message, I need you to...
After finding these voice lines, I theorized that the Order might have been the one piloting the Mecha Strike Commander. Also, she implies something happened to the Seven, and how they're not as close as they used to be. This might be due to the fact that majority of them have been chromed. This also leads me to believe that most of the Seven members who left their helmets that we didn't see get chromed on screen are fine. So the Foundation, the Order, and only those two are the only members of the Seven that are still around, and including the Visitor. Now that we know OG is in fact canon. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in Chapter 7, and bye-bye.